Hello, friends. So, we'll start a new series for Preliminary Examination 2024. This will be a series of episode where I'll try to solve the previous year question and make you understand that this examination can be cleared using logic and your constant effort to learn the basic books plus the newspaper. And I have named the series as Sisyphus. Already, I have made a video on who is this Sisyphus and what he does and everything else. But to tell you a simple story of Sisyphus is that it's a Greek mythology where a Greek king, Sisyphus, he will be condemned to move a stone from bottom to top of a mountain, and then again he has to repeat this each day. That's the whole process of Sisyphus. Now, prelims preparation would certainly feel somewhat like this. You are going through the syllabus again and again. You have to repeatedly go for revisions, and you have to repeatedly solve for preliminary examination. So you would feel like Sisyphus, and I have felt like Sisyphus, and many of the people who have cleared this exam would have felt like Sisyphus one day or the other. But what I propose to do is that you will be pushing the stone up every day. That's your work. Basically, through this series, what I thought was I'll maybe help you a little in the process, and by that maybe reduce the burden of preparation a little bit. So we'll start with this series. This will be a series where, for example, in this episode, I want to tell you about this fact that prelims examination per se does not pertain to this repeated things of what is that current affairs or materials, or there's no tricks. Don't look for tricks in this examination. If you This is the point. If you look for tricks in the examination hall, what would happen is that you would automatically assume that a question is based on the trick, and you would try to derive the answer using that trick. Or, for example, people guess answers. Guessing answers is kind of, a way in which you are giving the authority of your life to, to the way of guessing or fate or something like that. You are not taking control of what has to happen. So, what I propose to make you understand through this preliminary examination series is that this examination is based on logic. Logic, some people would, relate it to guess. Logic does not mean that you guess an answer. Logic means that you read and you revise. And what happens inside the hall is that once you make this connection of reading, revision, and your newspaper, you would automatically come to a conclusion of the correct answer. And by that logic, how do you use this preliminary examination? How do you use this attribution? What is the meaning of attribution and everything? We'll see in this video. So I'll solve the question paper, and you will understand, how do you make all these things that I am saying. But basically, I'm going to pick this 2023 question paper as a start. I would not be able to solve the entire question paper in a single video. So I'm going to make this into a series of episodes. And the previous question papers, whatever question paper that has been, and which is very important for this examination, I'll solve that. And in 2023, first, I want to make sure that you understand this fact that each question paper has questions that can be solved. This you have to make sure that you understand before you go inside the examination hall. In a question paper, in any question paper, there would have been, or there should be, like 30 to 25 questions which can be attempted, immaterial of whether it is from polity, geography, economics, or whatever things, in any question paper. And that is preliminary examination. This is the logic of any competitive examination. You have to understand that at the end of the day, civil services is a competitive examination where you are asked to solve a set of questions. You imagine yourself in the position of an examiner. The examiner would want you to have a chance of clearing this examination, and that chance is given through this 30 to 25 questions, and the cutoff is nearly 45 to 50. 45 to 50 into 2. So you think about it. uh, so we have to get around some 50 questions net, that is 50 into 2. What I'm saying is that 30 into 2 questions are already available in the question paper. In this question paper also, which was supposed to be, change of order, change of question pattern, change of toughness, and change of difficulty level, and things like that. See, whatever difficulty they may change, we have to compete and get through this examination. It's the very simplest of explanation for any competitive examination. And it is not like, you have to get all the 100 questions correct. Now understand this logic, and then we will go to the topics that I'm going to talk about. And the first thing, so in this video, I'll talk about, or I will show you that this 2023 question paper has a relevant set of questions which could be answered and you could clear the cutoff. So I'll go to the first question. The first question is about this constitution. This is the basic, or this is the question that I really like. Constitution is what I used to pick when I was preparing for this examination. And in the constitution questions, some of the questions you see here are actually tough. And hence I would not go to those questions first and worry about whether I am getting the answers or not. What I am going to do through this is that I'm going to take the questions which are easier for me to analyze and get the answer. The first question is constitution, limits of the constitution. And if you very closely watch, chief purpose of the constitution, this is already a previous year question. In this series, you might also come to this understanding that you need not go through the entire what is that institute's question paper. Rather, you can go to the previous year question analysis. In this, if you had analyzed, you would have known the answer is that a constitution. I've already made so many videos as to the previous year question solution. In that, I have definitely solved this question. A constitution is it is a limit. In political science and all, they would talk about Hobbes and Rousseau, and many people will be there. In this, Hobbes would talk about the state being a leviathan, a huge a biblical animal which is there. The state becomes that is what he says, that is what he describes as state being an animal, not an animal. State being this most powerful tool that anybody can get. So what they suggest, so the thinkers in that period, they would suggest for the fact that this leviathan has to be reined in. That's the point that they go through. And that answer is nothing but limits to the powers of the government is chief purpose of the constitution. You look at part 3. Part 3 talks about, your rights, your fundamental rights, and that fundamental right cannot be violated by the state at any cost. That's the point that you have to see. Now we'll go to the next question. So look at the arrangement of questions that I am going through. I am thinking about the 30 questions which can be solved. 30 here, for example, I have arranged 40 to 45 questions. You know, we assume that, I assumed the fact that 30 will be easier for me, but I'll show you questions where you could actually go for 45 questions in this 100 question 2023. 45, as you might very well know, is the cutoff, or would be the cutoff of this examination. One way or the other, you have to clear the cutoff. This is again a previous year question paper. I will again stress on this fact which I said earlier. Instead of going through so many institute question paper and solving them, use the previous year question paper and analyze them. Don't memorize the answer. Memorizing the answer and the tricks, again, as I said in the beginning, is an useless thing in this civil services examination. You have to use the previous year question, analyze them according to the subjects you have in your knowledge. This knowledge part is also very very important, so I hope you understand. You can go through the previous year question. This is already a question they asked this. So it was introduced at the time of Nehru. First amendment is the answer. This first amendment is what introduced this reasonable restriction, and it was because of this problem with so many problems happening with respect to reservation and land reforms, that this first amendment was brought in even before the constitution of the first parliament. This was a temporary, sorry, not temporary, provisional parliament which was there, and that was the point that they passed. So first amendment is the answer. And again, in this type of question are now coming prevalent, and you can check that this type of question, if you see that one question is wrong, sorry, one answer or a one statement is wrong, the other statement is automatically right. One statement, think about it. See, if the two statements are right and the explanations are there, that's a different fact. But if one statement is wrong in this, the other statement is automatically right. So you see, again, it's not a trick. It's just a logical deduction. It's a logical deduction that I have made by looking at this question. So in this question, the statement 2 says that Article 335 defines the term efficiency of administration. Constitution does not define these things. The Constitution does not define clearly as to the office of profit. Constitution does not define efficiency of administration. Many of the things, this is basic understanding from Lakshmikant reading. You would know that this is wrong, so this is right. In this, if you see, C would be the answer most of the time. C, or whatever thing that you have, you just look at it. And this is one more question where the you know again, this again wrong means, so again one statement is wrong means the other statement is right. This is a logical deduction that I have made. You can also in the hall, if you see, this statement is wrong, right? See, to 26th November 1949, drafting committee was, it is the time in which they were ready to publish the constitution, or the point of constitution being promulgated. So at this time, who is going to constitute what? So this is wrong. So C is the answer. So four questions have come. Now that is the point. Students have to understand this fact that they look into this examination through the narrow prism of, I am strong in this subject, I am strong in that subject. History, for example, I have seen history or students not going to ancient and medieval for this preliminary examination. They have this notion of, Buddhism, Jainism chapter only is important, or something like, very superficial understanding of this examination would tell you that skip history. It is obviously going to be tough. Let us assume that it is going to be a tough thing in any case, in anywhere. You have to be prepared. That's your job. Be it in sports, be it in life, be it in civil services. If it is going to be tough, that does not make you or give you this, give you this privilege of not getting ready for that. First, you get ready for that. Let them ask a question which is difficult. If it is difficult, we'll leave that. It's very, very simple. Because when you have this idea of leaving topics, and important topics only will be there, that's a very dangerous thing for civil services. Like the tricks that I strictly say that don't look for tricks inside the hall. Now you see here, it's like ancient India, the concept of stupa. No, this is not the concept of stupa comes from this fact of folk tradition of having a stone for the person who has been killed, for the privilege, for the village protection and things like that. So this is not true, this is true. So answer is B. So this is a question. Again, you check this fact of, I am not I am not using this fact of one subject, two subject. I'm not into any of that. My aim is to show you the fact that at least there are 30 to 30. Here I have 45 questions which can be attempted. And look at this question: Korkai Pumbuhar Muchiri. This is, anyone in Tamil Nadu would know what is a Korkai. Korkai is a port. Pumbuhar. Anyone in Tamil Nadu who would have seen this movie of, I think, some random person, lose, or sorry, he actually gives this anklet or something like that. You will have the story. Everyone in Tamil Nadu knows that. Muchiri or Muziris or something like that is a port. Very, very simple question. And this is again a previous year question. You can check the question paper of, I think, 2024. I have already solved that question paper as well. This is there. Exactly this question of souls being part of anything. Buddhism would not talk about this concept of soul and stuff like that. It's Jainism. Even the smallest of stones that you can see will have this soul is the concept, and that's why they have this extreme concept of not even hurting anything in the way. And this is one more question of 8th century AD. uh, you exactly this is what I was referring. This question might look like a little difficult, but this is difficult when you understand that you have gone inside the hall without even making an understanding of ancient and medieval, medieval India. Basic books would have given you this understanding that 8th century AD, it was, Chalukyas, where Chalukyas or Rashtrakutas, whoever you can have, based on the timeline, Chalukyas or Rashtrakutas. And there would be, Pallavas here, or Pallavas or Cholas, based on the timeline that you prefer. And you have, sorry, it will be like Chalukyas and, Rashtrakutas, and you have this Bengi Chalukyas here. These were the most prominent kingdoms in the Deccan in the time of 7th century AD that they are talking about. And here you have Gurjara Pratihara. You will have Gurjara Pratihara here. You will have Palas here. They or Rashtrakutas, Gurjara Pratiharas, and Palas, they would all compete together for this Kannauj. It's a very, very, simple, not simple. So, see, I'm using this leisurely, I'm using the word simple. It's not simple, it's examination. This is what I am, or I have to read and understand. Once I do that, I understand this fact that this this Hoysala, Kakatiyas, and Yadavas, the Chalukyas or the Rashtrakutas I was referring. So once this Chalukyas or Rashtrakutas go away, there will be someone called as this Kalyani Chalukyas. Once this Kalyani Chalukyas, so Kalyani Chalukyas will have their problems with Cholas. Once this Kalyani Chalukyas, disintegrate, and this point of Gori and Ghazni start to come in, what happens is that this disintegrates into their constituent. So you will have what is called as Yadava kingdom here, Hoysala kingdom here in the bottom, and you have this Kakatiya kingdom in the east, and you have this Gadawala is where in the north. This is an point where they come around this 11th to 12th century. So where have they been means it is 11th and 12th century. How can they be in the 8th century? None of the answer is right. Just by knowing the story, you could have answered this question. This is the blunder that students make. They go inside the hall thinking that they can make this examination correct by leaving ancient and medieval. By some advice of it is already it's tough, you can leave the, see, don't leave any portion. Your job, as I said, is to complete the portion. Whether it is difficult or easy, you go inside the hall, you decide it yourself. That's the basic of this. Now come to this question of, again, this is modern India. It is Bentic. It's very simple. 1933. Anyone with the first modern India class, anyone who had come, they would know this question, that Bentic is the answer, where Governor General was there, Governor General of India they converted into. And then you look at this question of, you know 15th Finance Commission. Now the 16th Finance Commission has come. This 15th Finance Commission had not given, or most no government or no commission had recommended the stable governance reform and all. I don't think any finance commission had recommended or can recommend something like this. This goes against fiscal federalism, or governance reforms. Okay, governance reforms, they have this, for example, governance reforms for Panchayat Raj, when they give this, what is that, grants. So finance commission does not only give this vertical devolution and horizontal devolution of funds being collected, they also talk about this grants, which specific grants, state grants, specific grants they give for Panchayat Raj and all. They suggest governance reforms as an incentive for giving the money, but there is no point here where they talk about this vertical devolution. No, from the center to the state they don't talk about. This is the answer. So B is the answer for this. And again, look at this question. Now imagine yourself in the hall, imagine yourself thinking about how do you solve a very tough question, like many many other questions which are there. But imagine also that the fact that questions like this will be there, where logic has to be applied. You see here, Switzerland is one of the, this I have already explained. If one statement is wrong, the other is automatically correct. This I have already said. Now look at the statement again. Switzerland is one of the leading exporters of gold in terms of value. One of the leading, maybe it's possible, but I do not know. Switzerland has the highest or the second largest gold reserve. This can not be true. It should be someplace in Africa. Basic. See, it's an assumption. How do you? This is not a guess. I am not guessing anything here. This is just an assumption based on my reading of resources in geography. So this is wrong. If it is wrong, means statement one is correct. So this is correct. Okay. So one more question. Again, here also the same applies. One statement is wrong, the other statement is automatically right. India accounts for 3.2% of the growth of exports of goods. No, if they would have said services also, okay, but the goods, we are not 3.2%. It is a less thing. This was directly from the economic survey of last time. So basic economic survey understanding would have given you this answer. So this is the answer for this C. Now come to this question of, this is again a previous year question. Again a previous year question. Go to the initial periods of this discussion that I have. You check how many previous year question is itself in this question paper. Now imagine yourself running for so many questions, question paper questions, everyday question paper, the one day question. So many things and varieties are there. But what I would suggest you to do is that you read the book, you understand the concept, just look at the previous year question. You will know that this is the basis of this answer. Infrared ray, the ultraviolet rays come and it is reflected as infrared rays, and they are absorbed by, global warming, or greenhouse gases. That is the point, greenhouse gases. And in that, methane is there, carbon dioxide is there, in that water vapor is also there, water vapor. So it will be forming as the bottom layer, and that's the answer of this. Again, you look at this answer. Again, if you had proven one statement is wrong, the other statement is right. In this statement, soil is tropical, rainforest is rich in nutrients. No, it's mostly washed off because of high temperature and high rainfall. The forest or the decomposition will it will take, because more bacteria, more decomposition, it will not be slow. This is a true fact. This is why the fact is that soils are not rich, but here they have given it as rich. So if it is rich, means this is a wrong statement. If it is wrong, means the statement one is wrong. So this is the point. Here, did I here? Okay, this statement is wrong. Like, okay, this statement is wrong. So this is right. Sorry. So whichever statement. So statement one is incorrect, and statement. So I had wrongly marked it as C. Please change. Now come to this fact of temperature contrast. This can be a little difficult question, but again, the specific heat means the amount of heat that is needed for increasing the temperature of 1 kg of a substance by 1 degree centigrade, that you need not know. What is the meaning of a specific heat? Means you heat it and whether it is going to increase in temperature or not. That in geography, you would know that land gets heated fast and cooled fast, but not the water. And the answer for this question, you see it here. Okay, the previous is D, right? So the previous is D, and you see it here. This is true. That is the land. And the temperature contrast between continents and oceans is greater during the summer. Yes, precisely because of this point. That is, water gets heated fast, and sorry, land gets heated fast, and land gets heated cooler fast. That's an point which is more pronounced in the summer. In the winter, you don't have that kind of an heat for generating this contrast. This kind of maybe on the difficult side of the question. If you want to remove this question from the list of questions that I've been giving as easier question, you can remove it. Think about this question could have been solved. Okay, this question also could have been solved. The both see both these are basic things which have been there in the NCRTs. P waves is kind of the wave. First it will be given as S waves like this, somewhat like this, and the waves, there will be a diagram in NCRT which is very, very simple. These things, see, understand this exam. It's not like they again go to this. Don't simplistically converge any term as static, dynamic. There is nothing like that. There is something called as a syllabus. Don't you know you don't go into this noise of static, dynamic hota hai, ye hota hai, wo hota hai. कुछ नहीं होता है. No? हमें क्या करना चाहिए कि we have to understand, we have to finish off the syllabus, understand the meaning, understand the previous year question, go inside the hall, complete the question paper, get the job, and finish off this exam. Okay, that's the only part. Now come to this again. So it is like ballistic missiles, or while cruise missiles. See, it's kind of cruise missiles is like once the missile goes and you have to power it through all along. This is not the true fact. Agni 5, again, you have this multiple re-entry vehicle, some in the news, and the last time also, it is an Agni 5 is an intercontinental ballistic missile. Again, you can check, it is a previous year question. It is around 2015 or 14. You can check the question. It's already there. It's an intercontinental ballistic missile. It's not a supersonic cruise missile. It's kind of the other way around. BrahMos is not an. So see here, it's the other way around. They have given it in a switched it form. So D is the answer for this question.